Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
There he is. Judd's camp notes. As we mentioned on one of the Write That Downs, Judd's camp notes dressed like John Cena today with his green trucker hat, his green Padrig shirt.
Padrig shirt.
See him.
North Stars hat. What more could you want?
Oh. By the way, if you want to hang out with Judd's camp notes and myself as well, we're going to be at Padrigs next Wednesday for a little happy hour celebrash and an exclusive Purple Daily podcast recording. And we still have some open spots. It's free to attend, but we do ask that you register at scorenorth.com/party. So that's Wednesday, August 14th at Padrigs Brewing in Minneapolis for a little cheers, some football, some camp notes, and a fun podcast recording. scorenorth.com/party.
I am holding in my hand one of the many fine beers that you can get at the Partey, the Honey Blonde Ale. So like I've been talking about the red. It's good stuff too.
What'd you say?
That's what they used to call me in college, the Honey Blonde Ale.
Okay. We'll try to verify that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Brother Liam, can you confirm or deny that that's what they called that one? So we got Judd's camp notes. You've been out grinding at training camp and some more quarterback jockeying yesterday. So let's start there. A little quarterback discussion here.
Absolutely. And let's actually flip the script just a little bit. Let's start with the veteran who had another, in my opinion, a third quality practice. Now, the Vikings were what? They practiced Saturday. They did a walkthrough on Sunday, which we were not privy to, which is fine. Monday, they were supposed to have the night practice. They got rained out. Tuesday, they're supposed to be off, but they practiced. So Sammy Boy Darnold, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, in my opinion, all strong days. But I come not with just the nebulous, hey, strong day. I come with the statistical information, the highlights, to share with you about why I firmly believe this will be your starting quarterback on opening day.
Okay.
Might not be for the long term, but I mean, this is not tracking of, oh my God, he's a disaster. He is showing improvement. And I think by improvement, the most important thing to point out is it appears he's getting a very good grasp on what O'Connell wants.
Yeah.
So it's not like he sucked because he was a bad player. That's up for debate. But he definitely didn't have a grasp necessarily on the system, and that's coming. 28 snaps yesterday, 12 of 17. And of the 12 completions, I want to give you the highlight. The highlight was this, because this continues to be a theme here, and it's a great thing. Justin Jefferson not practicing, we will get to that. But Sam Darnold, Jordan Addison continue to be a very nice connection. Team drill, 11 on 11. Addison runs the deep route. He beats the corner. He beats the safety. Darnold on the money pass. I had it at 56 yards. Only guy that can haul that ball in, Addison, which he does at about probably 3, and it walks into the end zone.
Wow. Another one.
It was another took the top right off the defense. Now, I went back and watched Darnold's press conference from, I think he did one on Friday of last week. And somebody asked him about this. Hey, you've hit Jefferson, you've hit Addison on these deep balls. They look really good. And he's like, yeah, that wasn't really a strength of mine. And I spent the offseason working on this. And again, what I love is the air below the ball is on these passes is perfect.
Okay, so you're saying Sam Darnold was telling reporters that he didn't feel like the deep ball was a strength of his going back, like in his career?
Arm there, but I don't think they touch.
But, a couple thoughts on that. The arm has always been there, and a big reason why he was so highly touted coming out of college was he's this big body, big arm, and people were excited because he's going to be playing in the AFC North, cold weather games, but he's going to be big arm in the wind, right? Like, he's never had receivers like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, whether it's the Jets or the Panthers. Now, he might have had DJ Moore for a minute, maybe like a couple years ago, but for like a handful of games.
He did, yeah.
But other than that, he hasn't had the targets. It's all I'm saying is I'm sure he has worked on the deep ball, and credit to him for that. It's also nice when you can drop back and just throw a ball 45 yards down the field, put some air under it, and, it's Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison running underneath it to make you look good.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But
Man, Jordan Addison maybe bailed him out. Huh?
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Oh, I see what
I guess
you
it'd have
did
to be the
there.
other way around.
I see what you did there. Look, they're misdemeanors, okay? But anyway, this has been a theme, and I think it's something that the Vikings can definitely capitalize on. So that's the highlight. I want to take you through the end of game, though, because we've had these consistently, Phil, and as you know from the practices you've attended, they're fun to watch. End of game situation. Here is the situation. Final drive, 1:05 on the clock. Offense is down. In this case, unlike last week when I think they were down by 6 points, they're down by 1 point. One timeout, ball at the offense's 35-yard line.
Okay.
Good on good. 1v1. So this is not the second team. This is the first team offense against the first team defense.
This is it. Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's rumble.
All right.
Let's tussle.
From the shotgun. Darnold. Pass over the middle to Brandon Powell. I think it was short. Complete, though. All right. Clock's going. Darnold to Powell on a short pass on the sideline that takes him out of bounds, but his feet were in to catch the ball. Stops the clock.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Then, and this is the interesting one too, because these two seem to have a chemistry in the passing game. Darnold, a short completion again to Aaron Jones with 40 seconds left.
Inbounds?
Inbounds.
Okay.
Inbounds. Now I'm not supposed to reveal a lot about what I'm seeing from a schematical standpoint, but I will say we are seeing, much like Dalvin Cook was, we are seeing Aaron Jones definitely will be utilized if things go as planned as a receiver.
That's not.
So I don't want to reveal too much.
He's a running back who can catch passes.
Matt
You're
LaFleur,
not.
earmuffs.
Was it a flea flicker?
Dan Campbell, earmuffs. Okay.
Was it a Statue of Liberty?
Come on back now. All right.
Hook and lateral.
Darnold, short completion to Addison. Excuse me, because I get choked up here. The ball was dropped. 33 seconds left. Tough catch. Should have caught it. Again, short pass. But by this point in time, the offense is in a pretty good position. They have crossed the 50. So, handoff to Ty Chandler. Short gain. 30 seconds left. The ball now at the defense's 30-yard line. So
we hand off in this spot, catching the defense off guard, then burn the timeout, or are we spiking here?
No.
What are we doing?
No, you're going to love this.
We're racing up.
So
or are we running big leg Bill out? Where's the clock?
No. This meticulous drive, which has basically been a bunch of short passes, has gotten the job done to the point of it is technically incredibly sound. 30 seconds left. The ball at the offense's 30. What do? You got a timeout, but you're going to let the clock run down because Big Bill is going to come in to end the game.
I feel like this is bad clock management.
They let it run down to 4 seconds left.
We had 30 seconds left. Where are we at? The 30?
But that's the point. You've got a kicker that you trust, and you're down by 1.
Yeah, I need a little more yardage here.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking at KOC here.
Hold on. The same guy that has labeled him Big Bill now doesn't trust him to kick a 47-yard field goal?
I trust Big Leg Bill, but if I have 30 seconds left and a timeout, right? You said
yes.
Had a timeout.
You can get 10. You can get 10 more yards there.
Oh God, you guys.
Totally agree with Declan.
This is Darnold. I know you've got it perfect because Big Leg Bill comes on and drills a 47-yard kick as time expires for the victory.
Little conservative there for my taste. Little Mike McCarthy-esque on that clock management. If it went down the way that you detailed it.
It didn't bother me.
You're telling me
if it went down the way I meant? Are we questioning the
You're telling me on
I-
Vikings Vent Line
I
or
can
Hottest
see
Vikings
this.
Takes Monday edition,
Yeah.
If the Vikings are driving to what was the score again?
They're down by 21-20.
So they need a field goal.
They
You
just need
don't
a
need a
field goal.
touchdown.
Don't need a touchdown.
But you have 30 seconds to go, and you could make it, instead of a 48-yarder, you could make it a 38-yarder by getting 10 more yards. What if he misses the 48-yarder? What are you going to say? Why didn't they get a little closer?
But the whole purpose of drafting this kid is to
concerned.
use the big
I
leg.
am concerned
It's to
about
use
the
the big
clock
leg.
management.
You know what? You out there, tell us in the comments what you think, because it didn't bother me one bit.
I've seen this song and dance from Zolgad before, though.
Well, yeah,
I
if it's a
feel
guy
like
that can't
you-
make the field goal, if it's Greg Joseph, then yeah, I don't like it. But given the quarterback and what you think of the kicker, I mean, a 47-yard field goal in today's National Football League is considered a damn near a gimme.
A 37-yarder is considered even more of a gimme, okay?
Okay.
I
All right.
don't need to be wasting
All right.
25
All
seconds.
right, you know what?
I actually come away from this far more concerned about clock management
Okay.
than happy with Big Leg Bill or Sam Darnold.
Okay, that's fine. That's great. That's fine. I come here with my camp notes.
I was
All
a
I do.
KOC. I was a KOC guy until today, and now you just detailed that
Classic
train wreck of a drive.
All right. J.J. McCarthy's day. J.J. McCarthy's day. 5 fewer snaps than Darnold. 23. So upset. And 8 of 10. 8 of 10. So very solid day production-wise on the passes and completions. I did not see him. And now there is always a 2% margin for error in my camp notes. I did not see him take a snap with the first team. He has taken them, very, very few. I did not see one yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw Sam get all of the first team reps. Again, same exact thing. Final drive. 105 left, down by 1 timeout, starting point your own 35-yard line, 2 versus 2. So 2s versus the 2s. All right. Shotgun. This starts off really well. McCarthy finds Thayer Thomas. Then on back-to-back passes, Nick Muse, the first one, 48 seconds left, tick-tock. The second one, a substantial gain, 34 seconds left. And then McCarthy, because Muse didn't get out of bounds, drills the timeout there.
And where are we at now on the field?
You're in, let's see here. I think you're around the 32.
So you're on the you're in field goal
You're
range now.
in field goal range, and you have actually made more headway quicker than the ones did. But again, that's ones versus ones. So this defense is not as difficult to move the ball against. Nonetheless, it's good news.
So now we're at the 32-yard line, edge of field goal range.
Same.
Well, smack dab in the middle of field goal range for my guy, Big Leg Bill.
Big Leg Bill, exactly.
No timeouts left, and how much time?
So there's 26 seconds left. And now, just like the previous series with Darnold, they're going to run the ball to set up the field goal. So you basically are just trying to place the ball here. McCarthy hands off. I think it was Wongwu, but I couldn't see because there was a skirmish after this, and he gets stuffed. So he doesn't. I think he went backwards. So instead of setting up the field goal and being relaxed now, there's a scuffle. In fact, defensive lineman Jalen Redmond was ejected from practice at this point.
Yikes.
So we got a little scuffle. We're getting to the dog days of camp. Guys are now not like
they want to
they're
see a
not
different
happy.
colored jersey at some point.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So McCarthy scrambles back to get under center and does the same exact thing. So there's 26 seconds left. Now, because of how this transpired and they had burned the timeout, now the clock is ticking. You can't stop it except with a spike, so it's a little bit more of a hurry. McCarthy takes the clock down exactly the same thing to 4 seconds left and clocks the ball.
So just to be clear, Kevin O'Connell, he's my guy, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, I thought you guys
Once
were
the
boys.
Vikings hit like a 50-ish yard range for a field goal for a rookie kicker,
Well, they want it, yes.
completely pulls back the reins and gets conservative, and we wind up wasting 25, 30 seconds of clock because we're so comfortable letting a rookie kick a 48 or a 50-yarder.
Well,
I'm out.
In
I'm out.
O'Connell's defense, I can't believe I'm the one defending him. In O'Connell's defense, I think he probably didn't mind
Could have
this.
had Jim Harbaugh.
He didn't mind this because it allows him to see Big Leg Bill with the pressure on a bit.
Sure.
So like I can't guarantee you that in a game he would do this. I will say this. If he can't make these kicks, then why the hell did you waste a draft pick on him? So my expectations for Will Reichert are incredibly high. But because of the lost yards, now he comes in, and now it's a 52-yard attempt. So I will side with you. I'm a little bit less comfortable here. You should be able to make it, but now it's beyond 50 by just a little bit, and he drills it with room to spare.
That's right. That's all right.
So he is now, for your Declan's Mr. Mankato update, Will Reichert, 14 of 16. He missed 2 on the same day a week ago, Tuesday. He's had 2 kicking periods, I think, besides that, and has made every kick. And I will say this, the ones from 50 and 50 to 55 would be good from 60.
Yeah. And there's the pressure of all the fans, right?
There were no fans yesterday.
Oh, no fans yesterday.
We shut the fans out yesterday because there wasn't supposed to be a practice. So they
What do you
didn't
mean?
sell tickets. Well, it's a ticketed event.
I get it. Okay.
So like it was supposed to be on Monday, and now
Right.
they're going to have the stadium practice next Monday. But because Tuesday was supposed to be off, they didn't have time to mobilize and get tickets out.
Okay. So those kicks, much less pressure because you don't have 2,000 nervous fans. That nervous Viking fan energy when it comes to a kicker lining up for an important kick.
It's a bad
I want to make sure I'm simulating the right energy.
If Zimmer was his coach, he misses everything. So that's all I know.
So, okay. So Big Leg Bill coming through with a couple potential game-winning field goals there. And I think you're right, by the way. All jokes aside, Kevin O'Connell is probably scripting this in a way where, hey, we could run another play, whatever. Like, we're not looking to score a touchdown. We're looking to get into field goal range and then see what our guy can do. So I kid.
I don't know about that.
But
I don't know about that.
Would like to see you stick the dagger in a little.
But I will say, my takeaway was, although they were essentially short passes, the way that Darnold led the drive, I did like. Like, it was very veteran, methodical. Okay. McCarthy, you can see, and he's good, but you can see he's a little bit more, and he should be. He's 21. He's a little bit more like, okay. Darnold was pretty methodical.
Yeah, are they? I mean, is McCarthy like looking over to O'Connell? I mean, he's getting the play call on his helmet,
got the
obviously.
Call from his walkie-talkie.
Because in college, a lot, I'd have to go back and see. Michigan wasn't in a whole lot of hurry up at the end of a game and kick a game-winning field goal scenarios, but in college, it's a lot of like look over to the sideline and let your coach tell you what to do.
Pig.
Yeah. All
Dancer.
sorts of signals, whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay. Overall, it kind of feels like both quarterbacks are progressing, not necessarily in a straight linear,
correct,
upward to the right graph, but like they're more comfortable and better now than maybe they were at the beginning of like the first 2 days of practice.
Yes, and 10,000 foot view, McCarthy looks like a different quarterback than he did in the OTAs. So like, yes, if you take it day by day, there's good days, there's bad days, there's average days. But if you take like in its totality since the offseason on the field program started, yes, I would say that we've seen sufficient progression from both. Probably more excited about McCarthy. But the Darnold thing is, as we've talked about, he's out of the Jets. He's out of the Panthers. He's got a coach. He's got a coaching staff that's better. He's got talent around him that's better. I think there is reason to be encouraged that he's not going to, famous last words, look like a train wreck.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff. Just Kevin O'Connell spoke yesterday. Is that accurate, or was that not yesterday? He was going to speak before Monday's night practice.
He spoke yesterday. Mm-hmm. Now, Mark Wilf spoke as well. So Mark Wilf, who is now the Vikings ownership spokesman, basically, because it used to be the Zigmeister and he has stopped. So now it's Mark. Also spoke, and he only speaks basically, I think, at the March owners meetings and in training camp. Choose your own adventure. What do you want next? Do you want the conversation about the Kwesi and O'Connell contracts or the missing star players from yesterday?
Ooh.
It's up to you guys.
Let's start with missing star players from yesterday after you talk about uglydeck.com and the great work that these fine partners do.
Yes, they do a great job. And the folks at uglydeck.com. They are on a mission. And you're looking at that deck right now and saying, Ugly Deck Sports Dad, huh? Well, guess what? Uglydeck.com wants to rid the world of, very simply, ugly decks. Book a free deck estimate this month and get three free footings included. Just need a facelift for that deck? Get up to $1,000 off installation or a DIY deck package. For the DIYer, Ugly Deck can install your footings in Ledger and save you from the mess and frustration on the hardest part of building a deck. Half of all Ugly Deck customers have never framed a deck, but with a free coach in their DIY Video Academy, you can do it. Sports Dad can't do it. I'm going to tell you right now. You could give me a coach, you could give me a trainer. I could not do it. So what would I do? I would go with the top carpenters and maintenance free decks to build the entire deck. They build year-round, so book a free estimate today for a new deck. Go to uglydeck.com to book your free estimate, uglydeck.com to book that free estimate. And if you're enjoying the Vikings camp notes and you got any question about a deck, you call Ugly Deck or you go to their site and you say, Sports Dad and the crew sent you to keep those camp notes going.
Maybe you're consuming Judd's camp notes from your Ugly Deck. You're looking around and
I like that.
You need to go to uglydeck.com. Maybe you're a business owner and you could use just a better offensive line, so to speak, to help protect your business. That's what Federated Insurance is, dating back to 1904 when they were founded in Owatonna, Minnesota. Federated's corporate culture for years has been grounded in equity, integrity, teamwork, and respect. They believe in face-to-face and eye-to-eye relationships, and they also measure their success by the success of their partners, your business, for example. Find out more about how Federated Insurance can help elevate your business through risk management at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours.
All right, so 2 key players missing from practice. Big deal? No deal. Christian Darrisaw and Justin Jefferson both not on the field yesterday, not in sight either. So let's start with Darrisaw. Darrisaw got lifted from Saturday's practice, and if you guys recall, I told you in Judd's camp notes that David Quessenberry replaced him with the first team at left tackle on Saturday, and I thought, well, that might be a way to get him some reps, in this case Quessenberry, or it might be, they're trying to get some snaps off of Darrisaw. Well, the only thing that we were told by the team is he spent the practice on Tuesday in the trainer's room. And that he would be back fully set to go on Wednesday. Now, we're recording this at 11:10 a.m. Central Time on Wednesday. The Vikings are scheduled to hit the field at 2:15 p.m. Central Time. So we'll find out. Got to admit, though, I'm a little bit nervous. Like the Vikings, you don't have to issue an injury report until the season starts. So I guess if he hadn't left Saturday's practice, I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's probably just something small, and it might be. But the fact he left practice, full update, of course, on Judd's camp notes tomorrow. But that's the first one. Justin Jefferson not practicing, personal matter, according to the team. Now, I guess he was away. That means he went somewhere to take care of something. I don't know. Here's what makes me a little bit skittish there. If you guys recall, Justin Jefferson had a Veterans Day, I think it was last Thursday, from practice. So he got the day off, and then he came back and talked on Friday about how, I don't want to be off, but, I know it's the smart thing. I'm scared of being hurt. Again, he missed 7 games because of a hamstring, and hopefully it is just something he had to take care of that has nothing to do with his health. He has done nothing in practice I've seen to be scared about. Like, it's not like he's limping. It's not like, so both of these things might be nothing, but they're worth talking about because the team's going to tell you as little as possible. That's sort of their job. That's sort of what they do. So this is not slamming them. Just, we will update you tomorrow. Hopefully both guys are back. Hopefully both guys are fine. As we know, though, both guys are vitally important to the success of this team. So that's what I got for you on that.
I think like the personal matter, I'd be a little bit more nervous about like Darrisaw.
I am.
We've seen a bunch of examples of, oh, don't worry, Daniil just slept wrong on his neck, and then he like doesn't play for 2 years. Or
yes.
So I don't know. We'll see if they're both back at practice today.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Whatever.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
And they're not playing in the first preseason game.
Yeah.
So
well, if Darrisaw's not back on the field today after they said that he would be, that is going to raise some alarms. The Jefferson thing, the only thing that, like, as both of you know, the former lead beat writer for the Star Tribune, the only thing that concerns me a little bit is he got that day and they called it, like a Vets Day.
Yeah.
But like, if those start to stack up, it's like, is that a Veterans Day off, or is there some like lingering concern? I think if they were just being smart, they would tell us. So anyway, stay tuned, as they say in the business. This also was the 5th of 6 practice in full pads. The Vikings will be back in full pads today again. So it's not the old days. They're not like hitting a ton, but this does continue a very different O'Connell culture of being in pads a lot more than he used to be.
Yeah. And so, what is you said 5th of 6 practices?
Yep. 5 of the past 6.
Oh, I see. 5th of the 6. But
Yeah,
so they're going to be in pads today and then maybe next week between games, or do you think now that they're getting into games joint practice will probably be in pads
next week? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm curious now if the night practice will be in pads or shells because of that.
Because you're doing it. Yeah. You're doing it like,
do you want to play a game on Saturday? Now you're off on Sunday, but come back on Monday in pads, then travel to Cleveland and be in pads. And by the way, the joints, as we know, like, you can control them, but you can't completely control them.
Yeah. It's probably shells, but you want to give the fans a little something.
That's what I'm curious about. I don't care personally, but I thought the same thing. All right. The last topic. In fact, I'm going to go to my new favorite website here. Judd's Substack page.
Judd, okay.
Because I wrote about this. Judd Zolgad, Substack.com. Please subscribe. It's free now. So Mark Wilf was grilled, basically. Kudos to the folks on the beat. Was grilled because I think he thought, I'm going to talk about training camp and we're really excited. I'm going to mention the Super Bowl. Tons of questions about the fact that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah are in their 3rd year of 4-year contracts. And I told you guys, I thought that they might get extensions this summer because this is really the first time the page has been turned. Mm-hmm. Like, before, you kept Kirk around. I mean, 2022 was running it back. And kudos, they did a good job. But I mean, that was literally taking the Spielman. That was taking Spielman's meal and sticking it on a different table with a nice tablecloth, and you got better results, right?
They threw it in the air fryer. They put some garnish on the edges of the plate. Yeah.
Air fryer.
Got a brand new one as a wedding gift. It is.
Did you? Oh,
phenomenal.
What shape is it?
Stuff.
Is it in? Is it like kind of round, or what's?
Yeah, it's the Ninja. We had a Ninja. Okay. I had a Ninja one prior to, and I used the life out of that. That thing was holding on by spit and luck by the end of it. Nice. And this one is huge. It's awesome, and it's a little louder, but it's fine. It does the job. It's great.
It's doing work. Yeah. Throw some day old pizza in
Wings,
the air fryer.
Pizza,
even
fries,
like proteins, little salmon, chicken, whatever.
Salmon's good. Yeah, salmon's good in the air fryer.
Yep. Yeah. So 2022 air fryer season. Last year things changed a bit, but this is the first time that since 2018 that this team has hit reset on the quarterback position. So I thought that they might both get extensions as hey, we know the 24 might not go great. McCarthy might not play till 25. Anyway, Mark Wells said that there have been no discussions, nor are there plans for extensions. And I don't think that set off alarms, but it's like, oh, interesting. So I decided, and our guy, Kevin Seifert, did ask O'Connell about it. And not surprisingly, he's like, no, I've got this job. It's fine, blah, blah, blah. Now, the one question that this raised is to go back to the pre-training camp press conference, Phil, that we both attended when I asked O'Connell and Kwesi about could this change your quarterback plan if things aren't going well? And you're like, oh my God, are we going to potentially go into our lame duck years off a really bad year? But I did some digging, recent Vikings history, and I found evidence of how this is going to be handled. Okay. Mike Zimmer, going into the pandemic training camp of 2020, Spielman and Zimmer were both going into the last year of their contracts. Right before training camp, and then in early August, first Zimmer and then Spielman were actually given 3-year extensions. In other words, Mike took the Cowboys job because the Vikings stopped paying him after last year. But the point is, I think that both of these guys, short of this thing going catastrophically off the rails, I think that O'Connell gets an extension for sure. Now, Kwesi, I don't know as much about like what they think about that. Like O'Connell's results are we can see them. Kwesi's more behind the scenes, obviously. The 2022 draft's a disaster, but there have been some good moves there. I think they like him. So they could be judged differently. But if I was a betting man, and the fact that we get to see O'Connell's work basically put out and dissected in front of us, I think he gets an extension after next season. Let me make a case, though, why I think they might not want to allow it to go to July. So like if O'Connell's going to get an extension, I'm going to give you the case of why I think you probably want to do it after the season ends, if it's going to happen. You're going to have a bunch of cap room, right? And so like you can go big game hunting in free agency. You've got a great stadium, a great facility. Dare I say it? I'm sorry, Patrick Royce, a great culture. I don't think a big name free agent, though, might come to a place where it's like, hold on a second. The coach and GM are going into lame duck years. Like, do I want to sign with the team that's going, because teams will use that, rightfully so, against the Vikings. So I'm going to tell you my prediction for O'Connell and probably Kwesi is I think they do get probably 3-year extensions, and it should come before free agency starts in March. So let's say it happens in February.
Yeah. I would not rush anything until way into this season. Like there's no reason with all the different changes and you're drafting quarterback, like just let the season play out. And then I'm with you. If it makes sense, you feel like, hell, maybe this team makes a sneak run to the playoffs or something, and now it's obvious. But if you feel like things are going in the right direction, Kevin O'Connell has not lost the team. In fact, everything is on track for 2025 contention. Yeah, get it done in January or February and go from there. With Kwesi, he's being judged on roster building and drafting, and so you need to see some of these things play out. I want to see how Jonathan Grenard looks and Andrew Van Ginkel, and I want to see how, I think if you're an edge rusher, first-round rookie edge rusher, you should make an impact pretty much right away. I'm not saying you lead the league in sacks, but like Dallas Turner shouldn't look lost in his rookie season. Just want to see a little bit.
And the quarterback thing, right?
Yeah. Just want to see.
I think the quarterback thing is just huge. Now, the final point is, I will say, going way back when, and this is, believe it or not, the 20th year of Vikings ownership by the Wolves. But I will say there is a reason not to rush to extend in their world that makes perfect sense. During the glorious 2009 season, where it was all peaches and cream, right? Things were going great. It was so much fun. Brett's playing great. In November of that year, Brad Childress received a contract extension that took him through the 2013 season. He was fired the next year.
Yeah.
So like I think there's a difference between actually sending your coach and GM into a lame duck year, which teams don't like to do, and I think is a fundamental mistake. I think you either fire them or extend them. That this actually is interesting, but I don't think it's cause for alarm.
Yeah. Yep, that's with the Childress thing was because so you said it was like November of 2009?
November of 2009. They fired him a year later.
But there were some red flags, but they were also like one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the league in November. They were like 10-1. Right. And then the biggest red flag was the chaos at the end of the NFC Championship game.
But that's your point.
Then the offseason, it's like, yeah, you probably could have waited like 3 months.
And I think, too, now they would probably say that they actually take the big picture of how the person has done in the job since day one. Like, there were red flags about Brad's personality and handling of players in 2006. Like, you could have waited there. And you paid the dude not to work a portion of the 2010 season, all of 11, all of 12, all of 13.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, that's good. It's something to keep an eye on. It like we said, probably shouldn't happen until toward the end of the season. But the good news is, if they get canned, they can always spend more time at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival and hang out with real Vikings, Not these fake,
take their
these
families.
fake Vikings.
This is a great idea.
Yeah. Minnesota Renaissance Festival, open weekends, Saturday and Sunday, starting August 17th through September 29th, plus Labor Day and Festival Friday. You can throw axes, wield swords, watch live armored combat jousting, enjoy tasty turkey legs, 16 stages of entertainment, a huge marketplace. It's the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. Discounted tickets at renaissancefest.com. Plus, you can register right now in listener rewards on the Score North mobile app for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Renaissance Festival. That's listener rewards on the Score North app. renaissancefest.com to buy tickets, or you can register to win them on the Score North app, a 4-pack. Check those out. All right, Judd's Camp Notes. Coming in hot today.
Got today, tomorrow, off Friday. We got the game on Saturday, off on Sunday. The night practice on Monday, and then unfortunately they go to Cleveland. So if you enjoy the Camp Notes, savor the next 3 shows.
Yeah, because it'll be like Camp Notes from afar following.
Yeah,
the
we're gonna
joint
have
practice.
to follow them. I would have liked to have gone, but we got the party at Padres. I couldn't go.
Yeah, party at Padres. ScoreNorth.com/party if you want to come hang out with. Maybe you'll bring the notebook. Will you bring the raw notebook and people can see it and touch it?
The notebook goes with me. Yes, like I travel with.
What if we put it in like a secure briefcase? Actually,
you know what we should do? We should retire one that's used, behind like a glass encasement.
You should
at
sign
Padres,
it, dude. We should put
and
it
I'll
up for
sign
auction.
it, and people can come see it at Padres. It will be on display. So it's like, man, this beer is really good. And you know what else is good? Camp Notes from Judd. That's Judd Zolgad.
Dude,
that's
I found on an external hard drive. I used to take camp notes on like a Word document when my first camps under like Brad Childress regime, and I found all these raw notes from.
Oh my God!
Well, I would write them in a notebook like you did, and then I would transfer them, and I have the transferred digital notes from like 2007, 2008.
This one is full of camp notes from the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, you should save that, man, because you're documenting the beginning of J.J. McCarthy's Hall of Fame journey. Think about that.
That's a good point. I could.
And with collectibles being at an all-time, dude, you could like in 20 years, assigned by the former lead Vikings beat writer, the #1 Vikings podcast in the world.
You just
signs the raw notes.
You just assumed I'm going to make it to 74.
What if you put Declan and I? We don't have to get everything in your will.
Well,
like Dawn can get whatever she wants. We just want
Dawn doesn't want any.
We
of
want
this.
the sports memorabilia.
You can. If you come to my room, you can take whatever you want. She would be thrilled. She has no interest in any of this. I keep telling her.
There's probably some stuff in there that's worth like a lot of money.
I think if it was make all of the money off it or just purge the room so it's clean, she'd take the latter.
I mean, like you probably have press pass or like I have the media guide from the day Adrian Peterson broke the rushing record, for instance.
Oh yeah,
like that's
absolutely
a cool thing.
I got stuff from the Wolves' first year here. I've got North Star stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's not like great, but yeah, Dawn would love for it to be gone. I don't blame her. It's fine.
Judd's Camp Notes. Raging on. We also, if you missed it, we did a Write That Down edition of Purple Daily as well, and the Write That Down OG edition on the Mackie and Judd podcast feed, plus Score North YouTube channel. And don't forget, our third YouTube channel is the Score North Twins Show. If you're a Twins fan, Declan's killing it. Extra Innings podcast likely coming down later today. So, and then Flagrant Howls tomorrow. I think I'm texting with Kyle. We're going to do, I believe it's semifinals round for Team USA. So we're going to do a recap podcast of the semifinals game. See if Anthony Edwards can lead him in scoring again. All right, we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die here on Purple Daily Vikings entertainment.